All right, again, we're here at the Louisiana Music Educators Association Professional Development Conference and all-state concerts, and the concerts are happening right now. Lots of great things going on here at LMEA All-State. We have Scotty Walker with us. He's the new executive director for LMEA. He's served as past president. He served on the board of directors for a number of years. He's in the LMEA Hall of Fame in his own right, and a member of LMEA. Lots of great things. Retired recently, 30 plus years at Lafayette High School as a director of bands. Lots of great things happened there at Lafayette. We're going to talk about some of that, but before we get too far, let's back the bus up and talk about folks, people, events that inspired you for the love of music and pushed you into becoming a music educator.
Well, I think that I first became inspired not because of music itself, but because of the people that I came in contact with. So they motivated me to do better. I was not a terrific student in school. In fact, I was kind of a little academically and socially challenged. So
we heard a little bit about the behavior.
Yeah.
Not much. I can't tell you who.
Well,
but
I got in a little trouble when I was in school, and I had a few people that I really admired. And one of those people you interviewed earlier was Will Green. Yeah. He had a way of really controlling, getting me to become controlled, and music was. I was pretty good at it, and he would motivate me to do better in school. And my mom knew that he had been able to reach me, so she would go and talk to him and say, "Hey, can you get a rap on him?" And so he would talk to me and give me that disappointing look, and I just didn't want to let him down, and then I wouldn't want to let my mom down. So, that's kind of how it started. People kind of influenced me throughout my life. I was going to go to work in the oil field at the time. That was in the 80s, the oil field boom and everything. And
that's what we thought we were supposed to do.
That's right. That's what all my family did. I mean,
sure.
No one in my family went to college. So we were just going to go to work, And then that's when the crash hit and everybody lost their job.
Right.
And like I said, I was a pretty good trumpet player, so I decided that I was going to just give it a shot. I didn't know where it was going to lead to, but it was just seemed like I needed to do it, and so I did that. Got my degree, and I was going to go on and continue to play. And my mom got sick, and somebody offered me a job. I had no intention of really wanting to do this as a profession, And then I started teaching, and then I never looked back after that, because I saw the influence that you could have on kids, and like for me, it wasn't necessarily about the music, but I was influenced by my leaders, and so it's really nice when you can reach those kids that need somebody in their life to help them out. So that was the biggest influence for me, and I saw the impact that you could have. So that.
And from that first teaching career, you then landed at Lafayette High School.
Yeah, I was in Eunice for the first year, and I did the whole thing. I did elementary.
Sure.
Junior high, high school.
Sure.
And
the music teacher.
Yeah, the whole thing. And then I did that for 1 year, and then the middle school came open in Lafayette Middle. Okay. So I did that a couple of years, and then Lafayette High came open, and
I got it. I was off by 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people across not only the state, across this nation, knows the program that you built with your students and your team, the community at Lafayette High School. I mean, y'all have done everything from national championships for Bands of America, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, showcase championship a number of times, performing on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. What was hard and easy about that, and all those things, and the time it took, and just the investment?
Well, I love doing what I did, and certainly. It takes a village. You can't do it by yourself.
Right.
And I was blessed to have outstanding feeder schools, parents that really cared, administrators that allowed me to be able to do those things and supported me, and the kids were just on fire. So everything just it came together, and we were able to do some pretty magical things.
Let's talk about those administrators, because obviously you were there long enough to have several, I'm sure, but you were able to along the way to I don't want to say teach the administrator of how to love your band? Maybe that came naturally, or did it take work at any point?
It's again, I was really blessed to have some really fantastic administrators.
Sure.
And I had one that was at Lafayette High School for the longest. He was in athletics, so he didn't know anything about band. Came from the New Orleans system, so he didn't have a band at his school or anything. But he really believed in seek first to understand. So he would always ask questions. He would bring me in and say, well, why does a band need to do this? And I would talk to him, and so it was about communication. And
Sure.
at the end of the year, I'd always write a letter and just tell him how the band year went. And then at the beginning of the next year, I would write a letter and kind of say, this is what our plans are for this year. And he was always really good about what do you see the band doing in 5 years from now, that kind of thing. So it's always the
We
vision.
talked a lot yesterday, the administrator of the roundtable discussion about how to work with your administrator and how administration can work with the music teachers, and that was part of it. Good communication.
Oh, you have to
Always
have
be on the front end of that
You have to
and
have
get
it.
them involved quickly,
Absolutely.
right, in the process.
Yeah.
So that clearly is part of your success at Lafayette High.
Absolutely. I mean, that's paramount. You can't do it without it.
Right.
And so I've had some really good administrators, and I was fortunate. My last administrator before I retired was a former drum major, so that kind of helps out too.
Oh, that helps out. That's less work to do, right?
Yeah, right,
And they're
right.
already trained.
Right, that's
So great things are still happening at Lafayette with Mr. Ronnie
Absolutely.
Gleason and that band. They
Absolutely.
performed well this year. Amazing. You're stepping into a new role as executive director of LMEA, and you're involved in some ensembles around the Lafayette area as well. You're working with the Lafayette.
It's a Lafayette Concert Band.
Concert Band?
It's
Okay.
an adult community group.
Okay.
It's fantastic. I'm really having a blast with them. And
So you're still able to get on
Yep.
the podium and do what you
Absolutely.
love.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, and we're really excited about the future of LMEA, moving
Sure.
the
Let's
convention to.
That's where I was heading next. Go ahead.
Going to New Orleans next year is really exciting for everyone. It's going to allow us to be able to offer more experiences for kids,
Sure.
Including the middle school kids, and that it's just going to give more life-changing experiences for.
Right.
for
I was
the
talking
students.
to Lee Hicks earlier, who's going to be next year's president as we move into New
That's right.
Orleans,
Yeah.
and I know you guys are working hand in hand with the entire team at LMEA.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The conference should naturally, bringing on the middle school groups is going to bring a lot more people and a lot more opportunities, and that's the most exciting part. I know everything's going to work its way out, but it takes great leadership like you, Scotty, to lead this ship, and Lee and Brett and all the folks around us. So we appreciate all you do. Any final words that you want to tell
No,
directors and schools?
No, I just I really appreciate everything that you're doing as an administrator for where you are, Calcasieu Parish. They're very fortunate to have you there to support them, and the project that you're doing for the entire state. Every one of us really appreciate that. Yeah.
You know, I tell people all the time, I know I'm in Calcasieu Parish, but sometimes I have trouble distinguishing where the parish lines are. They reach as far as
Great.
Lafayette
That's
and beyond, and all the way up Shreveport, Ruston. I love to help everybody. That's what I love to do, and it's all about kids and programs. It's not about us as the adults. So let's do what's right.
Yeah, and if anything else for LMEA, the one thing that I learned was, we would always talk about how, why don't they have music in this parish and this parish? And we went to some superintendent conferences, and they would come up to us and they would say, we want music, but we can't find anybody to fill the positions.
Right.
So it's a goal of ours to try to bridge the gap and try to help with that if we can. So we're talking with universities to try to see who's going to be graduating so that we can
Correct.
help to fill those positions. So Brett Babineau was really instrumental in making that kind of thing happen. So we were really excited about doing that and maybe hopefully helping. But
Well, that work is reaching out because I know in Calcasieu we're committed. Our superintendent is committed to making sure we have music and art, for that matter, in every school.
Yeah.
It's just finding the human capital, the
That's
person,
right. That's
right?
right. That's
You
right.
still want to put a person in there who's not highly certified to teach music. There are gifted people out there, but everyone's looking to do that. I know funding is an issue, but those are hurdles that can be worked out by the adults.
and finding ways to get them to stay there.
That's correct.
That's the next challenge. 'Cause
Sure.
Once you get them to go to those rural schools, then
Right.
it's a challenge sometimes to keep them there. So,
Right.
so that's going to be one of our goals for the future is to
Well, I
help with that.
know you lead an LMEA. That's what you're working on. That we've had a history of success with Bruce Lambert, Pat DeVille. I don't want to start naming names. I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm gonna forget somebody.
Oh yeah.
But there are a lot of great names out there who paved a road for the future. So, yeah. Well, Mr. Walker, we appreciate you coming today.
Tony, thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate it. Yep.